A recent video of a suspected BYD Song SUV catching fire in an underground garage garnered significant online attention. The surveillance footage shows thick smoke continuously billowing from all four wheels, soon spreading underneath the vehicle. Security personnel contacted the car owner immediately, and the owner quickly evacuated as the smoke intensified. Suddenly, flames erupted from the car, and it was soon engulfed in a raging fire. Other cars were parked nearby, posing a risk of the fire spreading. Firefighters arrived promptly, connecting hoses to extinguish the blaze, and after 40 minutes, the fire was successfully put out, leaving only the SUV's charred frame. One post warned against parking electric vehicles in underground garages, arguing that if a fire started unnoticed at night, it could ignite other vehicles and potentially bring down the entire building. On May 27, a BYD E1 caught fire, reducing the car to a skeletal frame and leaving a harrowing scene. This incident has sparked concerns over the safety of electric cars, as their batteries contain oxidizers and flammable materials, leading to severe consequences in the event of a fire. Compared to traditional gas cars, electric cars are more likely to catch fire, with numerous similar incidents reported recently. For instance, on May 11th, a parked new energy vehicle in a Tianjin residential area spontaneously combusted and exploded, damaging multiple vehicles. The video footage showed intense flames and thick black smoke before an explosion scattered debris. On May 1st, a BYD Seagull was being transported on a flatbed truck with other BYD electric cars on the Wushan Expressway in Huizhou, Guangdong. It had caught fire, igniting all the new cars on the truck and producing massive plumes of smoke. In recent times, BYD electric vehicles have been involved in numerous fires, and even BYD 4S dealerships have also experienced frequent fire incidents. On May 16, a major fire broke out at a BYD 4S store near the highway exit in Lanpu, Qingkou Town in Fuzhou, Fujian Province. Explosions rang out as the massive blaze consumed the dealership, with the Qingkou BYD sign barely visible through the flames. The large showroom was quickly reduced to a charred skeleton. Firefighters deployed 7 fire trucks and 29 personnel to the scene. The store, located close to the road, was heavily damaged, with at least 20 vehicles burned beyond recognition. The official response from BYD stated that the accident was not related to battery quality and that the cause was under investigation. Apart from this fire in Fujian, BYD has experienced at least 10 dealership fires across China in the past 2 years. On July 9, 2022, a BYD 4S store in Xingning district in Guangxi caught fire, prompting a response from 14 fire trucks and 70 firefighters. On December 30, 2023, a BYD dealership in Bingzhou, Shandong also suffered a sudden fire, with several fire trucks arriving at the scene. Surprisingly, BYD attributed the cause of these 3 fires to identical reasons: wiring issues within the stores. Investigations revealed that the recently burned Qingkou BYD 4S store in Fuzhou was built in 2016 and is owned by BYD. The occurrence of wiring aging in just 8 years raises questions. Could it be that the dealership, which serves as a manufacturer's marketing and after-sales service hub, used substandard wiring? How likely is that? Additionally, 4S car dealerships are not small workshops and are in fact known for their advanced and standardized management. So why do BYD 4S stores frequently experience wiring issues that lead to fires? How does BYD handle fire safety measures in their dealerships in light of these repeated incidents? Beyond the 3 aforementioned fires, there were additional fires at BYD 4S stores in April 2022 and December 2023. These incidents occurred at BYD dealerships in Jiangmen and Shaoguan, Guangdong, in Zhengzhou, Henan, and Shenyang, Liaoning. While these fires were reported in various ways, they didn't receive widespread media coverage. Only the staff at the Shaoguan dealership mentioned that the issue was with the car itself, without providing specific details on the cause of the fire. The electric vehicle fire incident at the Fujian 4S store is just the tip of the iceberg. Many such incidents go unreported or are often concealed. What's puzzling is that for the BYD fires that have been reported online, the causes are rarely disclosed. Is BYD deliberately hiding the reasons, or are they failing to investigate these incidents? Are they neglecting user safety? Looking back to 2020, during the launch of the Blade battery, Chairman of BYD Wang Chuangfu made a bold statement. We will erase the word spontaneous combustion from the dictionary of new energy vehicles. 4 years have passed. Has BYD lived up to this promise? Recently, a BYD car owner posted a video alleging that while driving a BYD electric car on the highway, the car suddenly collided with the vehicle in front, but the airbags did not deploy, nearly costing the driver his life.
I'll never dare to drive a BYD again. It crashed completely, and not a single airbag was deployed. Bam! My head hit the steering wheel, and everything went blank. I can't remember anything. It looks like a twisted pretzel, the way this hood is smashed. What exactly happened at the time? I was driving on the Anshan highway at about 110 kilometers per hour, and rear-ended a large truck. You hit the truck bed, right? Look at the A-pillar. It's twisted like a pretzel. The impact marks are all over this area. It's completely crushed. The car roof is also damaged, with a huge dent. After the collision, the airbags didn't deploy? Not a single one. My head just slammed into the steering wheel, and everything went blank. None of the airbags deployed. There was no response at all. The only thing that reacted was the seatbelt, right? It tightened around your neck. Yes, if it hadn't tightened, I might not be standing here talking to you. Such a severe impact, and the airbags didn't deploy. The A-pillar is crushed like this, and no airbags. The door couldn't open, so how did you get out? The whole area was smashed, so I crawled out through this spot. The second impact flung me to this side, hitting the guardrail. The speed didn't decrease, just flung me out. This is the front crash beam. Everyone can see it's bent at a 90-degree angle. How long did the second impact last? About a few seconds. You finally stopped after scraping along, right? The wheel was also knocked off, and the engine hit the ground. Your crash was severe. It's a miracle you're here talking to me.
BYD has been plagued with numerous incidents, and recently it has faced complaints for mishandling several accidents. However, domestic electric vehicle brands are strongly protected by the Chinese authorities, often leading to swift suppression of similar family rights protests. On May 13, a woman from Xinyu, Jiangxi, filed a complaint against BYD, claiming that her 51-year-old father suffered a brain hemorrhage due to an electric shock from a BYD electric vehicle. The treatment has already cost 100,000 yuan. The hospital's diagnosis indicated electrical injuries on her father's body, but BYD has outright denied the claim, leading the family to protest with signs. On May 12, near Yunshui Road in the high-tech zone of Xi'an, Shaanxi, a man test driving a BYD car lost control and collided with an electric tricycle, resulting in 2 deaths and 1 injury. The car belonged to the BYD Xi'an Xingjing Tengfei 4S dealership. The customer was driving, and there was a safety officer in the passenger seat. The family of the deceased, a couple crossing the street with their granddaughter, revealed that the young girl was still in the hospital in poor condition. There was also a dispute over payment between the dealership and the family, with the family insisting that the dealership should cover the medical and rescue costs. However, the dealership evaded responsibility, even refusing to pay for the cost of hospitalization. The dealership claims they are still negotiating and will at least cover medical and funeral expenses, but other compensations are still under discussion. Netizens have reported seeing the family turn the 4S store into a memorial hall with banners and wreaths at the entrance and family members dressed in mourning attire, carrying photos of the deceased. The store, perhaps recognizing its fault, did not call security to remove them. According to the latest reports from 12365auto.com, a national automobile consumer complaint acceptance and handling service platform, complaints against BYD are skyrocketing. Most complaints involve sales fraud, audiovisual system failures, delayed car deliveries, misleading advertisements, power battery issues, and spontaneous combustion and explosions. BYD owners also face significant challenges in defending their rights, with many taking to TikTok to vent their frustrations in videos. Recently, a fed-up BYD owner installed an electronic display screen in the rear window of their vehicle, repeatedly showing messages that say BYD garbage and whoever buys it will regret it.
BYD has had several more cars spontaneously combust. They spend all their time on PR, bragging about how amazing their Yangwang and Formula Bao models are, and boasting about the safety of their Blade battery at launch events. But with the number of spontaneous combustion incidents remaining high, all their bragging just ends up making them look foolish. If their cars can catch fire on regular city roads, how can they handle the more complex off-road conditions? Any minor chassis impact or excessive power could lead to an incident in no time. Building cars isn't about making empty boasts. You need to prioritize vehicle safety above all else.
A post on the Snowball Finance website pointed out two major flaws in BYD cars: poor quality stemming from their history of producing subpar vehicles and deeply ingrained cost-cutting practices. This is evident in their chassis, crash beams, and battery pack protection. Secondly, the intelligent driving system is not something that can be perfected in 4 or 5 years. Despite high sales now, any downturn will amplify losses. The fierce competition in the global electric vehicle market has led to a price war between BYD and Tesla for market share. This has prompted many car manufacturers to follow suit with price cuts, intensifying the price war in the Chinese car market. BYD, after launching various models under its Glory series since the new year, introduced new promotional purchasing policies during the May Day holiday, including financial loan services. BYD's latest round of price cuts with new car models is expected to put additional pressure on the industry. The reason China's electric vehicle market can sustain such aggressive price wars is due to substantial government subsidies that have been in place since 2008. According to a table published by Caixin, BYD received government subsidies 55 times from 2008 to 2022, totaling 6.8 billion yuan. Each year saw a variety of different subsidies. China began expanding its subsidies for electric vehicles in 2008, with the first year recording 276 million yuan in automotive subsidies. It was mainly for the research and development costs of BYD Auto in Shenzhen, including amounts incurred by BYD and its affiliated companies. However, BYD's 2008 financial report shows that its wholly owned subsidiary, Shenzhen BYD Auto, received 422 million yuan in government subsidies from local governments to support automotive R&D activities. The Caixin article specifically notes that BYD's subsidies are all directly related to automotive manufacturing and R&D, excluding other types of subsidies. From 2016 to 2021, except for 2021, BYD's annual subsidies exceeded 100 million yuan, with amounts as follows: 357 million in 2016, 308 million in 2017, 974 million in 2018, 316 million in 2019, 224 million in 2020, and 93.5 million in 2021. Most of these were for automotive R&D, hybrid vehicle projects, and marketing incentives. As the EV market surged, China increased BYD's subsidies significantly to 1.7 billion yuan in 2022 to secure a leading position in the market. In recent years, China has designated new energy vehicles as a key industry. In 2015, Beijing launched the Made in China 2025 strategy to become a leading global economic power, targeting the development and production of next-generation technologies, including new energy vehicles. A study by the Kiel Institute for the World Economy in Germany found that China's subsidies for electric vehicles are 3 to 9 times higher than those in the U.S. and Germany. Local governments have heavily supported BYD's battery production and car manufacturing, making it a major global player in the EV market, even surpassing Tesla by the end of 2023. Besides direct subsidies, BYD also benefits from government incentives for consumers purchasing electric vehicles. Although these incentives don't go directly to the company, they enhance its market competitiveness and intensify the price wars, giving BYD an edge in international markets. Currently, China's electric vehicles supported by government subsidies are sold at low prices in over 60 countries, triggering concerns in Europe and the U.S. Recently, the Biden administration decided to impose a 100% tariff on electric cars imported from China, a move welcomed by U.S. automakers who argue that these imports undermine the billions invested in U.S. EV and battery factories. Michigan Democratic Senator Gary Peters stated that the 100% tariff on Chinese electric cars is a necessary response to the Chinese government's unfair trade practices, which threaten the future of the U.S. automobile industry. In April, one of the directors of the U.S. think tank, Dialogue China, Guan Yao told Radio Free Asia that Western countries should be wary of the long-term negative impacts of relying on Chinese products. The Chinese government's subsidies for new energy vehicles are part of a national strategy to establish dependence, which could pose long-term challenges to the West's freedom, economy, and democratic systems.